The eastern part of Visayas surprisingly has lots to offer too when it comes to natural tourist spots, from its sandy beaches, sparkling waterfalls, and towering mountain peaks. This part of Visayas too is also a haven for adventurous spirits. Two wonders are found in the humble city of Maasin, the Gensohotan Falls and Caves, both found in Barangay Cagnituan. Just like most waterfalls in the Philippines, Cagnituan Falls is refreshing and teeming with cold, fresh water. Taking a dip here is almost impossible to refuse. Cagnituan Falls also happens to be the mouth of another tourist spot, the Gensohotan Cave. The cave is 276 meters above sea level and also 14 to 15 kilometers away from the city. The unique rock formation of the cave is one of the main reasons why tourists are drawn to this cave.
The reason why we chose this particular site is that it is a natural environment which correlates to the definition of ecotourism. It is not yet developed but has a great potential to be developed and turn into an ecotourism site that will promote sustainable travel that benefits local communities, culture and heritage, and minimize impacts on the environment. Furthermore, if the feature of the site will be developed, it will have a chance to become well known to those people who loves adventure and exploring an unexplored cave. Additionally, it is a quite good place to get together with their family and friends.
Community participation in tourism helps to uphold the local culture, traditions, and indigenous knowledge of the local people. It also helps in conservation of the environment and culture of the local community. Here are defined several reasons why community participation in tourism development is important. 1. It is a vital element of the implementation of tourism plans and strategies. 2. Increase tourist satisfaction. 3. Helps tourism professionals design better tourism plans. 4. Contributes to the equitable distribution of costs and benefits among community members. And lastly, 5. Helps satisfy local identified needs.
The advantages of community participation are: first is to increase the chance of ameliorating the detrimental impacts associated with tourism. Second, the involvement of residents with tourism may create local satisfaction and encourage local people to support tourism activities. In this way, community involvement in the development process tends to lessen any feelings of alienation and opposition to tourism development, leading to better cooperation in the implementation of the developing projects. Third, since the local community knows what's best for them, they can identify the problems and shape tourism development with a style and pace that suits their needs and aspirations. Lastly, community participation can help ensure that the benefits from tourism development will be distributed more equitably throughout the community. On the other hand, the disadvantage of community participation is the lack of awareness, knowledge, and skills of the host community with respect to tourism management. For example, deficient levels of formal education amongst local may lead to an ability to fully exploit opportunities and benefits that can be brought
Brought by tourism development to the destination.
The major stakeholder groups in ecotourism are first the government, who plays a key role in the tourism industry throughout the different levels of tourism policy and planning. The government will dictate a variety of rules, requirements, and practices, from visa policies to the maintenance of public infrastructure. Most tourism business will operate closely with government. Second is the tourism organizations and operators. There are a wide range of tourism organizations and operators, from travel agents and airlines through the demo or destination management organization and travel bloggers to restaurants, hotels, and tourist attractions. All of these organizations are key players in the tourism industry. The small and medium enterprises. There are a wide range of businesses that are seen as stakeholders in tourism. This may be directly associated with travel and tourism, such as an airline. They may also be indirectly associated with tourism, such as waste removal company. The NGOs. There are also many NGOs or non-governmental organizations that are associated with the tourism industry. This might include charities or non-profit organizations. The tourist. Tourists are the very heart of tourism industry. Without tourists, there would be no tourism. The suppliers. The tourism industry relies on a wide range of suppliers, from factories producing bedding used in hotels to farmers growing the vegetables served in restaurants. There are many suppliers who work either directly or indirectly with the tourism industry. The employees. One of the key stakeholders in tourism is the workforce. Some have argued that the travel and tourism industry employ more people, directly and indirectly, than any other industry in the world. Employees in the tourism industry are commonly undertaking low-paid jobs in areas such as hospitality, catering, and customer service. Education. The education sector is also a stakeholder in tourism. Many educational courses will involve visits to tourism areas to enhance the educational provision offered. Education is also offered to many employees who work in the tourism industry in the form of training. The utilities and infrastructure. In order for the tourism industry to function, certain utilities and infrastructure is required. This means that the local power plant is a stakeholder in tourism because it provides energy. It also means that the builders, road workers, and engineers are stakeholders in tourism because they provide and maintain the necessary infrastructure. Transport. There is a strong relationship between transport and tourism. In fact, the very definition of tourism prescribes that a person must travel away from the place that they live in order to be a tourist. As such, the method of transport between point A and point B is an integral part of the tourism system, thus making the transport providers important stakeholders in tourism. The final stakeholders in tourism that is worth mentioning is the community. In fact, many would argue that this is one of the most important stakeholders in tourism.
Issues found in the tourism sites are plastic wrappers are left behind by visitors, means there is no trash bins placed in the site. Lacks of signages as a sign in reaching the actual site. The road to Barangay Cagdatuan is bumpy, in which found by visitors hard to access. There is no proper parking area, lack of visitor facilities, lack of community support, lack of care and implementation. Trail along the way is not easy to spot to reach the actual site. There is no other way to climb on the top of falls instead of walking to slippery rocks. There is no also available gear equipment like flashlight in exploring the cave or safety equipments. And majority of households within the barangay are unlikely to be able to engage directly in the tourism economy.